Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can update a web page using PHP, JavaScript, and obviously a little bit of HTML. And the whole idea of this is that the user does not have to go to another web page in order to get some information back from the server or from the backend, whatever backend you're using. In this case, is going to be PHP. This makes obviously your web page more interactive, and in my case what I'm trying to do is I'm creating a mortgage calculator, and I want information to come back from the server and load onto the web page without the user having to refresh or reload the web page or go to another web page. So a little demonstration is going to be in my case I have three variables: loan amount, mortgage rate, and years to pay. And so the loan amount is going to be $20,000. The mortgage rate is going to be 5%, and then years to pay we're just gonna set as at 30. All I'm doing right now is I'm sending this information to the server, and I'm having it echo back like so. So it just echoed back this information to me, and I'm gonna have a little layout for you guys, a beautiful drawing, because I know I draw beautifully. So here we have our HTML page, and all it's doing, it's sending its information, or rather it's calling the JavaScript file, and then the JavaScript file is grabbing the information and sending it through post. In our case, you could also use a get method, but post is going to be better in my case. So the JavaScript file is sending the information through post back to the server on the PHP end, and then that is at a later time what it's going to do is it's going to calculate the information and then send it back. But right now all it's doing is it's taking that information, that data, and it's sending it over to the JavaScript file, and then the JavaScript file is sending it back to the HTML file. So what does that look like in actual code? So here we have in our HTML file, our index file, we're going to see our form, and below the form we're going to see a little area that I've ID'd as results, and here is where the information is going to be populated. The data is going to be populated here. So we're going to have our form. I named it mortgage calculator, and what you can see is that the input button at the bottom, the submit button, it has an action on click. So what it does is on click it will call this function, the function called submit form data. And submit form data is actually located in this script, and you will need both the script to your JavaScript file, and you will need the script to this jQuery file in order to use this method. So in our JavaScript file, we look in the submit form data function goes like this. It creates the three variables that we're going to need to calculate. Well, in this case all we're doing is echoing back, but it creates the variables, and then what it does is it sends it as a post over to calculate.php, which is another file, and what it's sending is it's sending the loan amount, it's sending the mortgage rate, and it's sending the years to pay. Actually, I could do this like this. That's a little added. There's a couple ways you could do this. So we're sending three variables over to calculate.php, and in calculate.php we're receiving three variables like so. We're receiving them from post, and then we're just echoing out the information that we need to echo out. Pretty simple. So I'm going to re-show you this, and all I'm going to do is put in a loan amount, mortgage rate, we'll put 10%, and then we'll put 40 years to pay, and then submit, and we get our information back. So that's basically how it works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to include the code in the description box below. I'm going to include it in a link to something like a, I'm just gonna include the code below, and you guys will be able to see it, edit it to however you like. But that's how it's that's how that code works with this beautiful diagram. That's the flow of information. Obviously, there's no validation here, which is very important if you're actually going to do a PHP website. You have to validate this information going to the back end. Very important that you do that. This is for educational purposes. I'm just demonstrating how this can be done, how this sort of thing can update the web page. But what you really want to do is, and I'm just stressing this because when I went to school, they stressed this like a MFer. But they really stressed this on me whenever I would write my code. They wanted me to authenticate. What was it? Yeah, it was sanitize, validate, and authenticate, something like that. But they basically wanted to make sure that I made sure that all the information being sent back to the back end was safe and it didn't manipulate anything. Obviously, in this case, it's not going to manipulate anything, so I don't even need that much sanitization. Anyway, yeah, that's the gist of it. I hope this video helped you guys out.